Clean out's all done. Brad's painting the windows back there, but we've hit our first major snag. Right here is our gas line. And you get into this valley of despair where it just seems like everything's going wrong. You're never gonna get it done. We are going to try to get this paint off ourselves.
We'll see. I mean, you don't know.
That's why I keep him around, for his optimism. So I got a quote to take the paint off of this thing, and it was about $23,000 that I don't have. So now we are going to try to get this paint off ourselves. We've got some stuff here that is supposed to do the trick. What makes this work so well is that you put it up on the building, and then it's got these sheets that go over it that kind of stick to it that keep it from drying out. So it stays active for longer, takes off more paint. Well, I've been waiting weeks for those sheets. This showed up in fairly short order. Now, sooner or later, they will get here and we will use the right thing when doing the whole building. And I'm sure those sheets somehow affect the performance, but what we're gonna do is just throw some trash bags over it for this test. So don't judge the trash. It may eat the trash. You have no idea. These may just melt. I've seen some folks use this on furniture with trash bags, so I think we're gonna be okay, but let's get to stripping. Now, I do wanna make sure we don't get this on my truck though, so let's do this somewhere safe. What do you think, Monroe? You think it's gonna work?
It might work. I think it's just a lot. We'll see. I mean, you don't know. That's what it's made for, right?
That's why I keep him around, for his optimism. Gloves would have been a good idea. Use proper safety precautions. We're just gonna do a small test strip right here, so I'm not too worried about it. We'll be very careful. Also, good idea to read the instructions. We did not.
Why don't we read the instructions?
I watched a video.
What do you do, rub it on there?
Yep, just goop that shit on there heavy.
It says surface preparation. Remove any loose paint.
You want it to look like Mark Zuckerberg's sunscreen when you're done with it. All right, I think that's big enough, but go back over it and let's put a thick ass coat on it just to give it the best chance possible to prove you wrong. Already starting to feel that green, isn't it?
I don't know, man, it might work.
That was quick.
I knew it would work. I knew it all along.
The green's easy though. The green's not stuck real well. It's that white primer.
All right, man, what do you think?
Cover it up.
I don't know what this does.
This keeps it from drying out so it lasts longer. With this flopping, it's probably gonna blow off, so you probably need to put some down there to make sure it sticks. Oh God, I just got it on my shoe. Don't leave the lids down there.
This is what they do at the beauty shop with them old women. Thinking about getting me a perm.
You think you'd look good with a perm, man. You should get a beard perm. Is that a thing?
I can make it a thing.
You should do that. A mullet and a beard perm.
We're gonna stand here for 2 days?
Yeah, we're gonna stay here for 2 days and look at it. For us, it'll be a couple days. For y'all, you're gonna find out right now. Well, we've got some bad news with our test here. Our trash bag did not hold and it blew off. It's mixed results. It did make the green really soft. We were able to just wipe the green off. I'm sure this stuff would have come off. I don't know if we really got it down in those grooves really well. But we came back, we put a little on there, left it for about 30 minutes. We were able to get through both layers. The trash bag was just too heavy. Once the wind started blowing, it just ripped the trash bag off. What it's there for is it's a membrane to keep the stripper from drying out too fast. That way it just penetrates more layers of paint instead of just penetrating the top layer, goes all the way through and cleans the brick off. Now, good news is we've been waiting a month for it. The actual paper that we're supposed to use is here. Much thinner, much lighter. We're gonna put one of these squares up there, wait 24 hours, and see if we can get the paint off of this building. Again, the quote, super expensive. If this works, it means we should be able to get this paint off for less than half, maybe a third of what media blasting this building is going to cost us. Now, there are a few different options when it comes to the chemicals we're going to be using here. We are using the more non-toxic version because we don't have a bunch of layers of paint to get through, but we also want to be as safe as we can. I don't know if Jill's gloves here are going to fit my big old mitts. We'll want to use long sleeves and all the things when we do the whole building, but for this one little square, tore it, but at least part of my hand is protected. If the glove don't fit, you must have quit. Bro, doing the best I can. We want to just find a square here and put it on thick, just like me. Put it on thick. The thicker it is, the more likely it is to hold that square on, the more likely it is to get through all the layers of paint. Make sure it's in all the little nooks and crannies. Now, we're gonna take just one square of our paper here, and I wanna make sure we've got enough to get that whole square done. Just make sure that's pressed down nice and tight. Keep it from blowing off the building. That looks like it stands a much better chance of actually staying up there. The paper says 24 hours. I read online 24 to 48 hours. We're gonna try it at 24. Only 2 layers of paint. This is supposed to take off many, many more than that. So I just threw that stripper and stuff in the building, and as we're about to leave, you can already see how much, like the green paint comes off no problem. And this is starting to get soft. The hope is if we can leave that on for 24 hours, that white paint's gonna get soft all the way through, even in the grout lines and everything, and then we'll be able to just pressure wash it off. Things are getting expensive. We've got quotes for the windows and the doors, like the windows around front in the architectural renderings, they open. I want them to open, it's kind of cool. Like the problem is none of this space y'all see here do we own. And so technically we can't put an outdoor space here at all. Now I'm working on something to solve that, try to get permission from the city. Like there's some different things we could do. This is a public street. We could have this shut down, which would render this ours. One of the ideas that the architect had, this will be added to the entertainment district in Opelika if we want, so you could get a drink here and walk to downtown, although a bit of a hike. But we wanted these to open, so you could just, if you were hanging out around there, you could walk around here, go to the bar, get a drink, have little bar stools right here so people could sit. This is in the shade all afternoon, cost prohibitive. If these windows open, that guy, and the door around here, replacing this with basically glass and French doors, we're pushing $50,000 installed, and that's multiple quotes. On top of the $23,000-ish quote to strip the paint off the outside of this, we still gotta do plumbing. We've gotta build out the interior. We've gotta do power. We still gotta figure out the boiler situation, water filter, like it's starting to add up. So we're trying to scrimp and save money everywhere we can. The windows that Brad's been working on around back are looking fantastic. We're gonna take this one out. These have 2 fixed panes and then 3 panes that open. This one, for some reason, is 4 panes that open. I don't know. So we're gonna take one of the windows on the side that match these, put it there so all those match, and then take this one and just stick it around on the side. A few little things we're tweaking and changing and moving around just to make things look a little better to us, but we've gotta find cost-effective ways to get this in pretty good shape. That's why we've gotta try to chemically strip this. Splurging and just doing it the quickest, most efficient, but also not cost-effective route is gonna stop us from getting this done. It may take more time. It probably means longer before we're actually distilling by trying to do it this way, but going the other way just means a whole lot of debt, and debt's what puts a lot of these distilleries out of business, what puts them in a lot of trouble. So we're trying to get through this without accumulating a lot of debt. This is how we have to do to stay in budget. Things like saving money on our fermentation tanks and stuff. So I'm excited. I think this is gonna work, but I'll check in with y'all tomorrow to find out.
Yeah, it works.
It is peeling the white paint off with it.
Yep, the stripper is pretty good. I'll give it a name, Trixie.
Trixie.
Put a little Trixie on the wall and it works.
I think a pressure washer would take most of that off. What we've done is this was about 20 hours. The paper said 24. I saw online up to 48. I think if we left this for 48 hours, he just put it back up there. I think it's gonna soak through.
Let Trixie work.
Let Trixie work. Hit that pole, Trixie. I think we're gonna be able to pull this off. It's gonna be a lot of elbow grease, but it's not my elbows.
I know whose elbows it is.
All right, well, that's good news. So we need to get a bunch of that. Probably what we need to do is just test that bucket and see how far it goes, and then figure out how much we need. But I think we can get it in like 5 gallons or something instead of that bucket. And then next is electrical. I'm trying to get some more quotes on the windows. Trying to get an electrical contractor out here to start quoting this so we can figure out what that's gonna be like. And then it'll be plumbing, electrical plumbing, build out of the bathrooms, windows around front and doors. And then license, hopefully. We have our good old trusty handy dandy DeWalt 3600 PSI pressure washer right there. We got a witness.
Pretty sure it's DeWalt there.
What'd I say?
DeWalt.
That's how it should be said. If that's not how they say it, they should change it. This has been on now for 30 hours at least. Should be able to just peel it. Now, we already peeled it and kind of did some damage to it there, but it stayed up the whole time. Definitely taking layers and layers of paint, including the white paint. Here goes, moment of truth. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Of course, the green paint just comes off easy anyway. Like just the pressure washer will take that green paint off. You see, it did really well. There's some places that Trixie didn't get. I think what we can do is this was going through green paint, white paint, the whole thing. I think the strategy is pressure wash off all the green, at least as much of it as we can get off, and then just strip the white. And it should go all the way through. Because we don't want to have to go through and do it twice. We don't want to have to, chemically apply and put the paper on. Because then, honestly, we're pushing up closer than I want to be to the quote to actually just media blast the thing. If we can pressure wash off the green, strip it, get the white off, I think we're going to be okay. We do have water now. We had a little bit of a problem. There's a few issues there with water. We had a meter. It was buried, broken up. We found it. We had the water company come out and turn it on, but when they were stripping the inside of it, they cut my service line at the floor. In here, little issue with the water, as wet as it can be, because this little line right here is our water service line. We thought it was those over there. It's not, it's that guy. Not a huge deal, that's gotta be dug up anyway, and we probably want new water service. Water's such an important part of what we do, so we wanna make sure we have plenty of it and it's of the highest quality. So we might end up redoing that anyway. That's gotta be dug up, we've gotta move these bathrooms. That's the real big drama, but luckily for us, the Quonset hut around back is on its own meter. And so that allowed us to just turn it on and not have to deal with this. So we need to make sure they don't mess up the plumbing in the Quonset hut. But now we can make some progress trying to get this green paint off with at least the pressure washer. We may, worst case, need to upgrade to like a higher PSI steam pressure washer or something if we can't get all this white paint off. I have to hit the road here for a few days to head to Ohio, and we're going to check back in when I get back to see if the roof's gotten done, and honestly, if any of this stuff's gotten done. All right, we definitely have some updates here. As you can see behind me, the paint is coming off. Chemically stripped, pressure washed. We pressure washed the green off, chemically stripped this. I was not here, I was on the Rooster Run, but Monroe did film some updates for us. Let's jump to those.
You got Monroe here at the distillery. This place is my second home, but in order to make the dream work, you got to put in the work. What I've been doing this morning is working on some of this green paint that's on the outside of this building, just to get a game plan on what we want to do down here before we get up top and have to start doing it up there, because I want to know exactly what we're doing before I'm up in the lift or on the ladder. So as you can see here, this spot here, from here over, is when I use this goof off graffiti remover. Not satisfied with that at all. What I did was I put it on, sprayed it on, I covered it up. I let it sit probably a good 30 minutes, which I thought was plenty long enough. Pulled the plastic off, pressure washed it, and it did not work near as well as what I had anticipated. This spot, as you can see, is where I used this aircraft paint remover. This stuff is not cheap either. I think this can right here was probably 25 bucks, and it does not go near as far as what you would think that it would go. And then this is what we did earlier, and as you can see, it really gets down to it. This is the stuff we ordered online. This is probably what we're gonna go with before I get up there and start messing around up there on ladders and lifts or whatever the case may be. Went this morning and pressure washed all this green stuff off. Some of this green stuff is stubborn. It does not want to come off, and the reason I want to get this off is because when we put that high dollar stripper on here, it gets it off, it eats through the white as well, but it just takes a lot longer. But this is what I've been doing this morning. It's hot in Alabama. We ain't even made it to July, and it's already miserable, which I should be used to it. Been doing this my whole life. All right, this is the good stuff that we ordered online, almost like Elmer school glue, all that stuff TJ used to eat in kindergarten. Just roll it on, almost like you painting. Kind of a little irony there. And I've already went over this one time. Kind of looks like it's gonna rain here in a minute, which it's probably not the smartest thing for me to be doing. I'm gonna roll the dice and see what happens. And now I got the paper, put it up there. It's gonna stick to it. All right, as you can see right here, this is the one I had up yesterday. Rain did come in, and it was half the sheeting was half hanging off, so it took a little extra pressure washing. It did come somewhat clean. I went ahead and put this strip down this morning. It's not been on there as long, but I sealed it up to where hopefully keep it from drying out as bad. So I'm fixing to pressure wash it, and we'll see what happens. Took the pressure washer, knocked off what I had up there with that plastic. It works pretty good, so that's what we're gonna have to go with. A lot of this that you see is probably me just not getting it on there good. Probably might need to let it sit maybe another hour. We'll go with that, because I can't find nothing else that works as good as that does. And I got the paper up on this one section, and every single time I put this stuff up, it decides it wants to rain. Was nothing on the radar when I started this. This is the crap that I'm dealing with. Can't have nothing. And here it is the next day. Just went over it with a pressure washer. It looks pretty good. It's still got the white paint in there, and of course Big Dog will have to make that call on whether or not to take it down any further. I actually like the little white in it. It gives it character, and of course I'm gonna say that because I would be the one having to get all that off. But it does look pretty good compared to this mess of where I started.
And of course I come back, this is day 2 of them working on the foundation. Unfortunately, we had some issues in the back corner and the front corner. The front corner we were aware of. The back corner was a bit of a surprise. So they have started cutting the concrete back here. They're gonna work on digging down. So they cut the concrete, they're gonna dig down, and they're gonna put some footers down here. Now, we knew about this pit, we knew about the concrete block. We did not realize there was a cavity behind the concrete block, so we're probably gonna have to take up this concrete repair, widen it out, get rid of those blocks, or at least get rid of the top blocks and fill in. More money, more complications. It's a bit of a money pit, but we're gonna have exactly what we want. We're in the building right. I think we're gonna be okay. Thought we were gonna be able to slip by, save some money, get some things done on the cheap. Just not gonna be the case. Like, we're gonna be in the building about right. And in Opelika, it's hard to get one. And if you can get one and not be in it more than it's worth when it's all said and done, then you've done pretty good. Like, the fact that we just got a building is almost a miracle. I definitely wouldn't want to do this kind of work on somebody else's building, so it's good that we were able to find one that we could buy and secure. Clean out's all done. Brad's painting the windows back there. Those are getting pretty close to done, but we've hit our first major snag here on the foundation repair. They're really not feeling like digging holes by hand, so they bring this piece of machinery out here, and guess what we've discovered? Right here is our gas line. Even though they've done a really good job digging these 2 holes, I don't know if they're gonna be able to continue, because that thing is full of gas. And there's no way of shutting it off at the road. Like, the only place to shut it off is right there where it's capped off, where it comes into the building. So I don't know what the answer is, but it smells like more time, more cost. But y'all can really see, like, we knew there were foundation issues here. Like, you can see the crack across there. On the inside and the outside, there are cracks up this wall. Like, right here is really bad. It's fixable. It's expensive, but it's fixable. But now, probably gonna have some delays dealing with that gas line, trying to figure all that jazz out. You kind of start out, blissfully ignorant and optimistic, and then you get into this valley of despair where it just seems like everything's going wrong. You're never gonna get it done. And then, we're gonna get into that, educated optimism here in just a little while, and then we're going to get this project done. So we're definitely in the throes of it right now, to where everything's costing twice as much as we thought it was going to cost, and taking twice as long or 10 times as long as we thought it was going to take. But we're making progress. We're getting there. Really like what I see so far, and we're going to get this foundation fixed. We're going to get that concrete fixed over there. The roof is supposed to go on as soon as they're done with this. So we wanted to get this done before they, because if we're going to try to raise the building back up, not just stop it from going down anymore. And if you're gonna raise it, you don't wanna start on the roof in case it damages the roof. So should go on as soon as they're finished, within the next week or so. I mean, there's definitely more rot than they thought, but let's hope there's not any big surprises on the roof. Monroe did get ahead of himself a little bit here. I wanted him to wait and let us open this on camera, but our Coke machine is roached. It's gone. So apparently all of these drinks here got hot, ruptured, leaked down, and then just rusted the machine out. We're just gonna send that off for scrap now. Another beautiful day here at the Oak Bowery Distillery. Although my allergies are just killing me today, we've got progress to be made here. And we're gonna go in the Quonset hut and show y'all that for the first time. But I warn you, it's a freaking mess. There is all sorts of junk in here. We have found some cool treasures. I'll show y'all some of the cool treasures we pulled out of here in just a minute. It is slam full of God knows what. I found a drum set, and I'm just gonna leave that. This thing did have some restrooms from horror movies right here. Construction stuff, but nothing we're gonna use here. I think we are gonna hold on to the AC units here just in case we have some use for those in the future. The problem with this Quonset hut in general is that there's a lot of liquid on the floor when it rains. And so I think in general, most of the building is dry. This whole add-on for that, the dirt has kind of risen up over here. This water goes down and it just kind of sits right up against the building and runs in. I think if we solve some landscaping issues outside, we'll actually be able to fix that. We don't know until we try. There's some office infrastructure here and things that are going to get torn out for obvious reasons. Brad did find and put a little doll in the window there. Several of y'all had recommended that we turn this into the tasting room. The problem with that is a couple of things. One, this is hot. It's really hot in here. It's gotta be 100 degrees in here right now when it's like 70 something outside. That's great for aging whiskey. So it'd be really good for that side of it, but to insulate this and air condition this where it'd be good for a tasting room, we gotta take away a lot of the character. We gotta hide a lot of this with insulation. It's not a bad idea. It actually opens up a whole lot of opportunities in the main building there, but I don't think there's a way to make that work right now. Tearing this down and building a tasting room here might have some potential, but honestly, keeping that the tasting room and some production and then building a bigger production facility here and moving whiskey storage probably sounds like the most logical option. Now, I know you were really excited about cleaning this out. Are you upset that I've got somebody coming in to do the job? You weren't looking forward to this?
I'm gonna drive a Jeep when I grow up to trade it in.
Gonna drive it about 3 miles before it breaks. We have some folks coming in, same folks that did the demolition on the main building, tear out all of this as well, get rid of all this junk, tear out all these walls and things, and give us kind of a blank slate that we can then start rebuilding and repairing. You see a lot of damage in certain places where a truck couldn't make this turn, so a little beat up over here in the corner. I mean, it's pretty much it. It's a long Quonset hut. I mean, y'all can see all the way down to the other end there. It's pretty wide. I think, especially on this side, like it's right around noon right now, and all the heat's coming from this side of the building. I really think we throw some barrels on this side next to that metal, anywhere near those windows, we're gonna end up cooking some barrels. And we're gonna see some proof start to shoot through the roof. We don't know till we get it cleaned out and we get some whiskey in here. But I am hitting the road, gonna be in Arizona for a few days. They're supposed to be starting cleaning this out while I'm gone, so let's see what it looks like now that it's finished. Hold on, I said I was gonna show you the treasures that we had found in there first. Let me show you that, and then you'll see it cleaned out. A couple of Yeti coolers. That one up there is actually full of Michelob Ultras. This one is empty, I believe. Those are some lights and a cowboy hat. Shout out to Twister's Hats by MFer. Never heard of Twisted Hats. I've heard of an MFer before.
Oh yeah, I've been called that.
$50, where'd you get it? J&H Boots and Jeans.
Mexico.
$50 suggested retail price right there. I ruined that transition, but at least you got to see the goodies, but here. So completely cleaned out now. All the infrastructure's gone, all the walls are gone. After we tore everything out, it actually feels smaller. Still a lot of space, but smaller than it seemed before. But we're gonna tear this infrastructure out, get some lights and things in here, try to seal it up to where it's weather resistant or weather tight, and then we can start aging stuff in here. All right, I'll check back in a couple of days when they're done with the pillars and we've got the foundation right. Don't know how long that's gonna be now that they're probably gonna have to hand dig those holes. They're really not excited about having to do that with that gas line there, so I don't know what that's gonna cost me. So I'm excited about it. It is what it is at this point. We'll get there. We'll get there. Every dollar more I spend on these projects just is a delay, right? We've got enough for this and the roof, and then we're just gonna have to wait and figure it out from there. So see y'all in a couple of days here. I mean, for y'all right now, for me, a couple of days. And of course, this just gets more and more interesting here. We have found fiber optics for no reason whatsoever. Like, what are they running fiber optics to? Maybe they had fiber at this building at some point, but I haven't seen a hookup. Like the cable and stuff comes in here, so, but it's right in the way and ain't a whole lot we can do about it. I'm glad I paid somebody to do this job instead of trying to do it myself, because She fighting. Well, that's this update. It's a little sporadic all over the place. There's a lot going on. I really want to show y'all things happening more so than just updating y'all on things that have happened. Make y'all a part of the action that's going on, but really, I'm not here for the action. Like, they cleaned out that Quonset hut while I was on the road. Most of this is happening while I'm on the road, filming bourbon hunts, doing the rooster run and those kind of things. So I'm just not able to be here to film a lot of the actual activity. So you're gonna see that for a while. On a lot of these updates are gonna be like that, just kind of updating you on what's happening. If we do something, then I might be able to show you it actually occurring. We'll continue to check in with our in the field correspondent, Monroe, to get a little more action shots on the actual real-time work here. Appreciate y'all watching all the way to the end. We'll see you in the next one.